My name is Cici and I attend Cornerstone Christian Academy, and I am a grade 6 student there. My project is on Vancouver's Chinatown, and my project title is Chinatown Story. It tells the history of Chinatown and how the Chinese Canadians came here, how they earned their rights, and how their culture impacted all of Canada, and in conclusion, how Chinatown shone a light on Vancouver. The rest of my video will be telling you how. Today I'm at Vancouver's Chinatown. Vancouver's Chinatown is located in downtown Vancouver and takes up 6 commercial blocks. It is one of Canada's largest and oldest Chinese settlements. Chinese first came to British Columbia in 1886. Like many other immigrant groups, they came in search for new economic opportunities, the Fraser River Gold Rush. However, it didn't provide the wealth the Chinese and many others had hoped it would. What happened instead led the Chinese to settle in Vancouver permanently. After the Fraser River Gold Rush, the Chinese went to work on the Canadian Pacific Railway. This dangerous and difficult work united Eastern and Western Canada as a nation, allowing for more efficient trade and travel between the provinces. These 2 waves of immigration, one sparked by the Fraser River Gold Rush and the other by the Canadian Pacific Railway, led the Chinese to gather on Vancouver Island, forming the first Canadian Chinatown. From the 1890s to the 1930s, over 1,000 Chinese residents were already living in Chinatown. During this period of expansion, the Chinese experienced many hardships, and with few resources, it was difficult to adapt to the new environment, especially when discrimination and exclusion were common. The rapidly growing Chinatown was viewed as a threat by European businessmen who wanted to control the market. Still, the Chinese kept pressing on. They continued creating new homes, new shops, and practicing their culture in a new environment. In time, they began mixing Eastern and Western architectural styles, creating something distinctly Chinese and Canadian. Canada was meeting China, and China was meeting Canada. In the middle of the 20th century, Chinatown went through a process called beautification. The goal was to transform Chinatown into an attractive tourist destination for non-Chinese people to visit. The project was successful. Curious Canadians came in large numbers to browse shops filled with traditional Chinese items. The experience of interacting with the Chinese people and their culture helped create stronger bonds between the Chinese Canadians and British Columbia. In 1971, the federal government announced the policy of multiculturalism, which recognized the need to maintain the cultural heritage of all groups within a multicultural population. This policy led to the national recognition of Chinatown as a historic site of symbolic significance to all Canadians and the local recognition of Chinatown as a historic community by the city of Vancouver. And Canadians of all backgrounds were encouraged to visit Chinatown, not only for commercial tourism, but to also learn about its history. Throughout its history, Chinatown has undergone many transformations. Starting as a small, risky settlement, it blossomed into an expansive tourist destination for all Canadians and was an expansive magnet for new Chinese immigrants, and finally, a preserved historical site of symbolic significance. Despite meager beginnings and many hardships, Chinatown has made a lasting contribution to Canada, and that is why its light shines so bright. Thank you.